Hello again. Thank you for watching my interview with Petty Officer Kennedy, who will soon be promoted to Joshua Kennedy in less than a month from now. I wanted to give some additional details about him that may have not been covered in our interview. Joshua was born and raised primarily in Atlanta, Georgia, joined the U.S. Navy in 2019 at 19 years old. His first duty station was on board the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier, homeported out of San Diego, California. In his 3 years on the ship, he went on a 7th Fleet deployment. These typically last anywhere from 6 to 9 months, sailing around Asia primarily to promote freedom of navigation, deter adversary aggression, and exercise naval capabilities with ally countries. His deployment was about 9 months, which is not abnormal. However, the cruise occurred during the beginning of the deadly coronavirus pandemic. On a normal deployment, the ship would make port calls in many Asian countries such as Singapore, Thailand, and Korea. But because of the situation at the time, the ship made no such port calls. He would endure this almost 1-year-long deployment with thousands of others as a young junior sailor, or E4, or Petty Officer Third Class. When his ship finally returned to the West Coast, all U.S. military personnel were presented with the big decision: take the COVID vaccine or separate from the military. Thousands were conflicted with this ultimatum, and 20-year-old Joshua Kennedy was no exception. More than 8,000 service members were discharged between 2021 and 2023 when the mandate was in effect. Whether he wanted to pursue it as a career or not came as a choice for him. From his 7 years in the Navy, Kennedy noted that his first deployment, despite the hardship he experienced, was the thing he was the most proud of. Setting sail on the first ship to deploy during an unprecedented global event that impacted nearly, if not all, aspects of life, including the military, is a feat that only the few thousands of sailors on board would ever know. There are many reasons for people to join the military, such as financial situations, change of pace, patriotism, and of course, to continue a family lineage of service. Kennedy proudly claimed that all the Kennedy males served from his great-grandfather, grandfather, father, brother, and himself. While this feeling of obligation is more common in men, this reason is one of the top stated as the reason for military service in the United States. Another highlight of this interview came from Kennedy's answer to the question on what skills he gained while in and how they helped him while he was in, and how he would use them when he was out. Kennedy said that he learned to work with people from all walks of life. This helped him to do this well. He managed the work of sailors younger and older than himself, and to speak confidently to senior leadership and inform them of current events to aid in their decision making. Explaining that this skill would help him when working with those older than him in a different line of work and being able to earn their trust and respect. He's not afraid to speak his mind on how he felt that he did not have a choice in his own bodily autonomy while in the service. From taking the vaccine to the removal of his wisdom teeth, he expressed one truth: that military members essentially trade a part of their individuality or a part of themselves when sacrificing their life for their service and country, and that stuck with me the most. While we were on this topic, it made me think and reflect back onto my own service and how, like him, I've been in for 6 years, and my first ship was on a COVID cruise or COVID deployment in the 7th Fleet, my first year of the Navy. It's a difficult time to wrap my head around. I was a young person, about 18 years old, and now coming to the current command that we're at and seeing him transition and what he has gone through to make the choice to separate from the military, leave the military, how I would continue on in my service, and how that may change and how things may impact external things that may not be related to the military, how family, life, and events around the world would change my service and how that could affect me later on. Thanked him for his service and thanked him for his interview. Known him now for almost 2 years. The time I've got to know him, I've got to reflect on my own life too. So this was a great opportunity for me to not only get to know him, but get to think about a part of myself as well. Thank you very much.